What on earth are you doing?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm enjoying the sun and open sky, of course.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, you know you can't get a tan with this kind of light.
Oh, sweetheart, this is as close as my alabaster skin gets to the sun.
Oh, well, excuse me. I didn't realize you had sun exposure issues.
I might be half vampire.
I know I'm all vampire. I'm conductor. You know, we're in black. We only come out at night. You know, we're kind of. You know.
It's all coming together now.
It's true. It's true.
So why would a vampire create a performance of sun and open sky?
You know, I'm noticing this is a pattern in my programming now because, you know, we just had a really, really rough winter. Last winter was really tough. It was extremely cold, lots of snow, and it just went on. And it wasn't a typical Colorado winter. And I found myself really down in the dumps, and I'm seeing this as sort of a pattern where I'm starting to program in the fall and the winter. I'm starting to program pieces that are more summery because I just miss it so much.
Aww.
I miss summer so much when it's cold. So I guess I'm a warm weather guy.
I guess. So sun and open sky.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 3 pretty awesome works on this concert.
3 amazing pieces. Yes.
Yeah, so we're playing the Fingold's Cave.
Right, Mendelssohn's Hebrides Overture, right?
Yes.
Which is a substitution. We have to admit that's a substitution. We had intended to play Michael Dougherty's Sunset Strip,
yes,
which is a really fun piece, but you have to have a couple of key soloists, and we lost one of our soloists. He had some family things. So we had to make a substitution. You know, we kind of looked around maybe for somebody to fill the spot, but it just wasn't feeling right.
Right.
And rather than present the piece and maybe not do it as well as we could, we decided to make a switch.
I'm kind of excited about the switch because, one, I looked up the cave, which is really quite gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, I've been to Devil's Tower, and it looks a bit like that with kind of the angular structure going up, and then the waves splashing on, and what's fun for me at least is the way that you help paint the picture for the orchestra. As we're playing, as we're rehearsing, you tell us, like, could you just be quiet for a minute? You're missed. Be missed. And nobody, you know, how many times have people heard this song? I've heard it a million times, and have I ever been told to be missed? No, not once, not ever.
Right.
So I'm going to be missed.
Right. Well, good. Well, good. Well, yeah, it's an amazing thing. Fingal's Cave. Google it at home. It's an incredible structure, and Mendelssohn saw it from a ship as he was approaching the northern end of Scotland.
Okay.
And it moved him so much that he wrote this great overture. And the opening of the overture really is approaching this cave in the mist. That's really what it feels like. And it only really tells the tale of all the folklore and all the amazing things that happened there or allegedly happened there in the middle. But especially in the beginning and the end, it is just mist. And that's what we try to capture. So there's a lot of 16th notes and things in the strings, and a lot of times you hear recordings where they're just noodling and it's like, what on earth? Why? You know? But this makes much more sense this way. Well, it's harder to play, but it's much more.
And you made a point of it tonight. He stopped us in rehearsal tonight, and he said, okay, those of you who have it, don't say anything. Who has the melody? And of course the cellos were like, we do! No. They do, always. It's actually the second violins, and we were like very excited about how we were playing and being very expressive, and those stupid noodles were just blaring over top of us, and so you are insistent that we are going to play this in such a way that it really exemplifies the beauty of the cave.
Right.
I think.
Right. And not only, I don't know if Mendelssohn actually got to go inside, but it is, if you get to look at the structure, Fingal's Cave, both on the outside and the inside, is so dramatic, so amazing. And this piece really does a great job. I think if it's played right, you're there. And that's our goal.
I think we'll take you there pretty easily. And then we have Brahms.
Mm-hmm.
Concerto for cello and violin, which I absolutely love it when you program our musicians as the soloists, because we have some really fine players in our group, and you're really showing them off this whole season, and I'm very, very excited. This is not an easy piece.
Not at all. Brahms, you never underestimate Brahms,
no.
right? That's the hard thing. If it's done well, it sounds easy.
Yes.
And it is so hard to do well. It is so hard to do well. It takes so much maturity, so much thought, so much energy in the moment, and yet it can't be energy like aggressive energy or you know, overly excited energy. It has to be controlled. It has to be, there has to be direction and thought behind everything, and that's the challenge for Brahms. That absolutely everything must be played with a beautiful sound, which is really hard to do. You'd think that would be easy. Just, okay, here's a bunch of notes, play it all with a beautiful sound, and then you try and do it.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It's like telling somebody not to think about something, for me at least. Like, try to, just don't think about it, play beautifully. So it's been very difficult for me, but I'm trying very hard. And our string players, I think, have really getting quite good, if I don't say so myself. I think we're going to be able to just knock your socks off with the beauty this weekend.
Absolutely. And so we're featuring our concertmaster, Jacob Klock.
Of course.
And our principal cellist, Gerald Miller. Two of the very best musicians I work with. I absolutely just adore them both. They're very different in personality, but they're both just rock-solid musicians. And I'm so excited to give them this opportunity. You know, it's so great to give them a chance to do a major work like this, and to have them up there together as well.
Absolutely, and you know, it makes my heart shine to see the members of our group up there and just really kicking butt.
Well, and there's this story. We don't know for certain if it's true, but there's a story that you know, Brahms had written his violin concerto for the violinist Joachim was his name, and the story goes that they had a falling out. Joachim got divorced. It was an ugly divorce. The story is that Brahms kind of sided with the wife.
Oh no.
And so there was this huge falling out. And so the story is that in the double concerto, which was composed after, that it's sort of conciliatory in a way. It's like, you know, the two characters, like one is Brahms, one is Joachim, and they start off more at odds, and as the piece goes on, they start forgiving each other and start getting along better. So it's an interesting way to listen to the piece. I don't know for certain that that is true.
Oh, I'm going to choose to believe that. Because I was just thinking, like, we were rehearsing today, and in the very beginning of it, you really hear this great solo, like just the cello, and he's just killing it, right? And then Jacob kind of comes in and is like, I'm here too. But then the orchestra comes in, and I was like, that's weird. Normally you get like one and the other, and then both, or whatever. But Jacob doesn't really get his moment at the beginning like that. And it would really, to me, make sense in this story. Like, you only got one side of the story.
Right.
Wow, I love that.
Right.
It is now canon for me.
It may be true. It's a great way to listen to the piece, though. It makes you wonder if it's about friends that have drifted apart that are becoming friends again.
Very, very cool. Well, that's a piece not to miss, especially with Gerald and Jacob playing it. They're both fabulous musicians, and to have them together, I'm quite excited and kind of wish I was in the audience, but I'll just have to settle for listening to the rebroadcast. You know.
That's okay.
That's okay. I turn the radio.
It's kind of a first world problem.
Hush it. So our last piece we're playing is Beethoven, the Pastoral Symphony.
Right.
And so of course everybody knows it from Fantasia. One of the first times I ever heard Beethoven was watching Fantasia. So this piece for me is very warming, as if the sun and open sky is there. It's a theme here.
There is a theme.
Yeah.
Somehow we do it right. Even the Brahms fits this. The sound is what makes it this kind of broad, beautiful thing. There's just life and fresh air in every note. But the Beethoven, of course, is obvious.
Oh, very.
It's very obvious. You know, it's interesting because the tendency is to look at Beethoven as the revolutionary who was always sort of slapping everyone across the face And that's definitely kind of what you get in maybe the first, third, fifth, and seventh symphonies, especially maybe even the ninth. But a lot of people look at the sixth and they're like, what is this thing? And how is this in any way revolutionary? But it is. It absolutely is. First of all, there were other symphonies written at the time that were called pastoral, okay, and that were trying to describe things, you know, in the outdoors. But they were very low-level kind of, I don't know, like what's the term? Kind of cheese ball.
That is not the term I thought you were going to go for.
Yeah, I mean, these are not pieces you would listen to and go, oh, what a great piece, you know. We even have a surviving one that was just right before Beethoven's Pastoral, and it's just not that good, because the hard thing was writing descriptive music, but not crossing the line into just like, you know, making a bunch of sound effects and, you know, making it, and that's where Beethoven did it better than anyone else up to that point. And so you have this amazing piece, and it's amazing harmonically, it's amazing texturally. He combines, he had the last three movements are joined together, which is also a kind of revolutionary thing. He's using the trombones, which, yes, we got first in the Fifth Symphony, but here they are again. So he's expanding the orchestra. It is absolutely as revolutionary, but it's just revolutionary in a different way. But once you see it, it's like, oh yes, this is amazing. And once again, the hard part for us when we play it is to not play it like Beethoven's Fifth, or yes, Beethoven's Third, or Beethoven's Seventh. You can't play it that way. If you do it, it's really ineffective. So it's been so amazing in rehearsal. What have I been saying to you guys?
Play beautifully.
Yes, always a beautiful sound. Don't dig in with the bow. Never aggressive, never a rough attack, never, and it's so hard to do that.
Yes, it's the one thing I struggle with most.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, programming a whole concert of beautiful playing.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, it's such a great grouping of music. I'm very excited about this concert, and yeah, it's all traditional type programming, mm-hmm, because of the substitution, but I think that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really quite excited about this concert, and yeah, I think people are just going to walk out with a tan.
I hope so. Fresh air, a tan,
sun, open,
you know, maybe birds resting on their shoulders, and yeah, I think that would be the way to do it. I think that'd be the way to.
When can people check this out? This is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so mm-hmm, 7 o'clock at the Broadmoor Community Church. If you want the pre-concert lecture, that's before both concerts, 45 minutes prior. So 7 o'clock Saturday, and then Sunday at 2:30 at First Christian. Yeah.
Yeah. So come see us and wear something summery.
Yes, please do. Oh, and if you have a summer hat, I think you should wear them. Or a fascinator, that would be even better. I would like to bring fascinators back. It's like the little British things with the feathers and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know what that is.
It's called a fascinator.
I'm fashion clueless, in case you didn't notice.
I'm wearing polka dots and stripes. I am not one to talk.
Right. On the average day, the city of Colorado Springs is very lucky if I can remember to put on pants. So I'm not a fashion guy at all.
This reminds me of a story, but I'll have to save it for later. But audience, I cannot wait to see you this weekend. We are going to have so much fun in the sun and open sky. So I'll see you there. So
let's work on our tans.
Yeah. What I wouldn't give for a margarita.